good, planty peeps? My name is Lily, and welcome to Peace Lily Plants. So first thing I have to point out is that if you watched last week's video, I bought a shirt at a plant swap that says, "Send nodes," and I'm wearing it right now. We're gonna try to go up in the chair a little bit here. Look, I got my mom to help me cut it off, and is that so adorable? Got a fun little planty crop top now. Anyway, better not eat too many carbs on any given day that I'm wearing this, or I'll have like a 3-month pregnant food belly in my little crop top here. Today I thought it would be fun if we went over what are some awesome trailing plants that aren't what you typically expect, which is Pothos, which is really the genus Pepperomia, like a neon pothos, a jade, a marble queen. All those are Pepperomia, and they're commonly referred to as Pothos. And I'm also going to include Syndax's Pictus in that, because even though it says Syndax, not an Pepperomia, a lot of times in the store it is labeled as silver satin pothos. Today we're going to be going over plants that aren't pothos, Pepperomia, and that one Syndax, or hanging philodendrons like Philodendron Brazil and Micans and cordatum / what's the other name for it? Heterasium. I thought that there would only be a few plants that are good trailers that aren't Pepperomia / pothos or philodendron, but amazingly there are 8 genuses or genera. That's the right way to pluralize that word. There are 8 genera in today's video. We're gonna have a lot of fun in today's video just looking at a bunch of my plants. So give this video a like if that sounds fun to you, and stick around and we'll just enjoy looking at a lot of pretty plants today. And subscribe to my channel for more planty content. So we're diving right into it here, and I'm just gonna be, I don't know, grabbing whatever's the easiest for me to reach in whatever order. So the first genus that we're going to be looking at today is Pepperomia. So this is a normal green Pepperomia scandens. It looks sort of similar to a Philodendron heterasium heartleaf philodendron, but thicker, smaller leaves, but still kind of heart-shaped. This is just a fun little plant. I've had this plant for over a year. Doesn't give me a lot of trouble. Not too much to say about this plant. It kind of looks like something that would just be growing in the forest or something. I like the vibes. It's a cute little boy. This right here is a variegated version of the plant I just showed you. It's a little bit thirsty. I need to do some plant chores after this video. But this guy also has been easy and adorable. This came from Kelly's Hoya. I just potted this up a few weeks ago, and this piece right here has already got a nice little bit of trail going on. So this one and the green one, I love them both. I do have a couple others that could be good for this. I have Ruby Cascade, which has very similar vibes to String Govs, which we'll get to in a minute. I have Pepperomia cubensis, which looks pretty similar to scandens and is also pretty easy and a good trailer. But the other one I wanted to show you today is one that I got recently from Steve Sleeves. It's called Pepperomia bovidia, I believe. And we're still trying to figure each other out. It's kind of, I don't know if it's getting leggy or if this is just the growth pattern, kind of like a Hoya, where it's going to put out stem and then grow leaves off the stem. So, like I said, we're still figuring each other out, but this guy is so adorable, and I haven't moved it out of the nursery pot because I'm afraid to. I don't want it to throw a tantrum on me. So I'm just going to leave it in here as long as it's happy in here. And, like I say, Pepperomia rot so easily. But with this one, especially with it not being in terracotta and not having the moisture getting wicked away as fast, I feel the leaves and see if they feel flimsy, if they feel hard, because they're kind of like little succulent leaves, and I don't water it until they feel flimsy. But anyway, isn't this so adorable? I'm loving this so far. Alrighty, next up we're going to talk about Hoya. So you see back there, I got a big ol' Hoya cardosa compacta, aka Hindu root, and I have a variegated one as well. And they're both great trailing plants. A lot of my Hoya, the bigger they get and the more they spill out of the pot, they're all kind of turning into trailers. And I should have said this at the beginning, but a lot of these plants can either be put on a trellis or put on a moss pole. And feel free to let me know which of my plants you think that I ought to do that with. But yeah, so a lot of these, they could be staked up or something, but they also make good trailers. And one of the Hoya that I wanted to show you right now is this Hoya Crimson Princess. I love this plant so much, especially the pink leaves here at the end. And let me find you my favorite leaf, because, okay, here we go. Look at this leaf. It's heart-shaped because it's like two of the leaves melded together somehow. I love that. But anyway, this plant is so gorgeous, so beautiful, especially as a trailer. Looks very good sitting on a shelf, just spilling out all over. I'll show you one more of my Hoya that is starting to trail. This is Hoya australis Lisa. Although this vine is looking a little bit more like normal australis. I don't know what's up with it not having very much variegation. But this one is also starting to spill out of the pot. I've had this one and the Crimson Queen for over a year. They're not very difficult in my experience, and they're absolutely beautiful, rewarding plants. The next genus that we'll get to now is Syndax. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about the Pictus argyrius because that one is often referred to as a Pothos, and we're not talking about Pothos in this video. But let me show you a couple other Syndaxes. This is Silver Splash. It's looking a little worse for the wear. Very curly leaves, only because it's thirsty. But as soon as I water it, all those leaves will flatten out, and it'll get back to looking its full glorious self. And I just absolutely love this plant. This is really a unique one. I feel like this would be an eye catcher to the layman's eye. Here's another one of my Syndaxes that is a more recent purchase. It also came from Steve Sleeves. Well, it wasn't technically a purchase, but it came from Steve Sleeves. This is my Jade Satin Syndaxes. So it has that classic Syndaxes look with this almost paisley shaped leaf. Does that make sense? And the little indications that Syndaxes tend to have, but a dark foresty green. I love this. It is absolutely gorgeous, especially on the camera, especially in photos. It's not trailing yet, but you can see that's the direction that it's headed. And it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when it gets there. One more Syndaxes here that is looking beautiful, starting to trail. This is actually a combo pot with a Syndaxes no ID. Kind of looks like Silver Splash. Kind of looks like Exotica. I don't know. I just really love that dark green down the middle. And then on the sides of the leaves. Absolutely stunning. And then here we've got a Silver Hero. And it's starting to trail. And it looks so cute. I have this sitting up on my desk and just trailing down on me while I'm working, and I love it. So yes, as you can see, that classic Syndax look that they all have, even though it's different amounts of silver and green. And I love Syndax. I love this particular one as well. Thus far, we've been doing things in threes: the Pepperomia, the Syndax, and the Hoya. So let me show you a couple more that I can have 3 different examples of. Then we'll get to the ones that I have 2 examples. Then I think we only have 1, where I have 1 example. So the next one, number 4 out of 8 of the Genera, is Syngonium, aka string of hearts, string of arrows. There are other string ofs, like string of dolphins and needles, but those are in different genera. So, wanted to show you this cute little variegated string of hearts that I got from Steve's Leaves recently, and I've never had great luck with the variegated one. All the other ones, I love them and they love me. This one, not so much, but I'm doing good with it so far, so fingers crossed, y'all. I absolutely love the look of a string of hearts trailing off of a shelf. Of everything on today's list, I feel like that might honestly be the most stunning. Because let me move the camera and show you a little better the ones that I have in the background back there. Okay, on the shelf, you see I've got a string of hearts in the middle and a string of arrows next to it. And it just looks so absolutely glorious and stunning coming off of the shelf there. Like I said, probably the most beautiful on today's list, just in my personal opinion. I definitely just felt my earring fall out. Alright, one sec. Alrighty, the struggle to keep an earring in is real sometimes, but we're back in business. So, you've seen Syndax, Hoya, Pepperomia, Syngonium. Let me think, what else? Okay, the next genus is Monstera. This one's trailing so much, it's a little hard to pick up the whole thing. Okay, so this is just your typical Monstera Adansonii. I have a wide form, and this is the narrow form. I'll be honest with you that I like the wide form a little more, but I love them all. I mean, let's be real. I love all plants, except for ferns and calatheas. I love those from afar. You see how much this vine is trailing, and it looks so cute just sitting there having all these little Swiss cheese leaves coming off. And this is also one that is sort of surprisingly, because it doesn't seem that special, but very, very noticeable to the average person, because it just amazes people when they see the holes in the leaves. I've actually been asked before, like, did a bug bite those holes out of the leaves? And I'm like, no, that's just how they are. They're called fenestrations. This is one that I recently acquired from Steve's Leaves. It's called Monstera Stanleyana albo. I think it's very pretty with the marbling a little bit on the leaves. And, you know, it's not big splotches of white, but I feel like the patterning that is there looks really pretty. I really am not sure this is going to be the best trailer. Let me know what your experience with this plant is, because I've heard that it's a little weird, like that the leaves will start to get really small if it's not climbing. So this might not be a great example. I'm not sure because I haven't had it very long. But the way that it's growing, it will be trailing eventually if I don't stake it up. So just another example of a Monstera that could trail, hypothetically. Next up, we have the genus that used to be Joey's favorite genus. He even has a tattoo of one. It's not his favorite genus anymore. Now it's Aglaonema. He's very Nick Pileggi-esque. But I'll show you a couple of them that I have. This is one of my Tradescantia. Now, there are so many different species of Tradescantia that I'm not totally up to par on the name of every species. I think this is Fluminensis something or other, but I just call it green and white or green and cream Tradescantia, and that seems to be good enough. Like, if you Google that, this will come up. Yeah, a very good trailing plant. I love the vibes because kind of like the Pepperomia scandens in the beginning, it's got a very, like, natural, woodsy vibe. The only problem with a lot of Tradescantia is that they do require a bit of pruning because the leaves on them will randomly turn brown. And you can see that happening quite a bit here. I may go ahead and prune this today. But as long as you keep it pruned, as long as you cut off those brown leaves, it's a very adorable, very easy plant. This is another recent purchase from Steve's Leaves. Not meaning to, but this video is kind of turning into an ad for Steve's Leaves. They have a lot of good trailing plants there. But this is called a Tradescantia Discolor. Haven't had it long enough to mess up too badly with it, so fingers crossed that this turns out to be an easy, rewarding plant. But my experience with Tradescantia is pretty good for the most part, so I have high hopes. It's not trailing too much yet, but you can imagine that in 6 months or a year from now, this guy really will be trailing a lot. And I love the patterning on the foliage. It looks, I don't know, it looks painted, but like painted in sort of a haphazard way, like just, you know, smacked the paintbrush across the leaves. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway, loving this plant. I messed up a little bit, you guys. I said that I was going to do all the genera that I had 3 or more examples, and then I was going to do the ones where I have 2, then the ones where I do 1, but there are so many plants that I came up with to show today that I'm getting stuff out of order, so whoopsie. But we're going to look at some Syngonium next. This is my Syngonium albo. I've seen a lot of people put this one up on my pole, so that is probably the best thing to do with it. But it looks so beautiful exactly the way it is right now. I also got this one from Steve's Leaves. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know that all the Syngoniums I'm about to show you came from Steve's Leaves. And you know, I just have to point out, look at this half moon, the half white. Oh, I can't grab it. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. And then I gotta show you one more. Look at this leaf right here. I think that might be the most beautiful leaf I've ever seen in person. Well, maybe except for the Monstera tie constellation that I saw at the plant swap last week. The variegation on a Syngonium album. Syngonium albo is absolutely amazing and stunning and glorious. And this guy looks so good trailing. This is an all green Syngonium. It's a bunch of reverted versions of different ones that were supposed to have variegation, but it looks so cute. Sometimes an all green plant is just the right vibe, you know? I've said vibe a lot in this video. But yeah, this looks so cute, trailing over as well. I'm in love with this one. It's not as impressive per se as the albo, but it is still a really cute, really adorable plant. This is a Syngonium erythrophyllum, aka Syngonium Yano Carti Road. That name is so random. I'm like, where did that even come from? But this Syngonium is so incredibly beautiful. Got that really deep green, almost brownish blackish. I mean, not all the way, but you know what I'm saying. A really deep green on the top, and then a really deep burgundy on the backs of the leaves. This might be my most beautiful Syngonium. I mean, it's hard to say because I love them all, and the album I just showed you is so incredible, but I'm just really in love with this color combination. And once again, a beautiful trailer, not trailing as much as the other two I just showed you, but it will be soon enough. Alright, we've made it to the end. We've been through 7 Genera, I think. And I realized here at the end, actually, when I was making my list, I have not just 8, but 9 different Genera that have good trailers in them. So, we're here at the last 2 where I have only 1 specimen of each. This is a Raphidophora tetrasperma. I got this little chunk of it from Kelly's Hoya, and it was nice and rooted when she sent it, and then I rooted it some more, planted it up, and it's looking awesome. Some of the leaves have turned yellowy, so I don't know what's happening, if they got bleached or if that means they're to die at some point. But I see here on the end there are some shiny new green ones. So I take that as a sign that this guy is doing well, acclimating well to my home, and I can't wait to see what this looks like as it grows more. And I imagine this will be a beautiful trailer because it is already trailing a bit. Got one more for today. This is a genus that I had never heard of till I saw this on, once again, yes, stevesleaves.com. This is called a Cilia belosynapsis, I'm pretty sure. Or no, sorry. Belosynapsis ciliata. Good thing I had a tag in the pot. But look at this. This plant is so cute. I love, alright, I gotta think of the right way to phrase it. I love how it has this look as if it's a flower or I don't know how to put it into words, but just the, you know those swirly things up at one on the screen? It's got that kind of look going on. Some of the leaves are a little bit yellow. We're still trying to figure each other out. I'm not sure if this might be getting too much sun, but it's doing really well overall, and it's so adorable the way it is now. And I can only imagine in 6 months or a year, are these vines gonna be hanging way down? I can't wait to see. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed seeing all of my different plants that I showcased in this video. Let me know what some of your favorite trailers are, or what some of your favorite ones that I showed today are. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And one more thing, wherever you are, whatever your circumstances, bloom where you are planted, honey. See you in the next one. Bye.